Welcome into the Recruiting Roundup. We're in the semifinals of the high school football playoffs. It's an exciting time of year if you're a football fan, and we're going to bring you all the exciting things surrounding this great time of year. Jason Jewell, Jared Cohen, every week we bring you the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting, and we do so year-round. 4 commitments to get to, some offers as well, a player of the week who is part of a state record performance, and some other players to keep an eye on the semifinals. That's what we're getting to today. Starting with the commitments, Saguaro's Alex Anderson, their big left tackle, still in the hunt in the semifinals. He announced his commitment last week.
Yeah, he committed to San Diego State, and what a good commit for the Aztecs when you're talking about that he had offers from Colorado, from Oregon State, and he had about 10 offers total. Huge commitment for the Aztecs.
So Saguaro, they got Desert Edge next. It's going to be at Arcadia High School. Should be a fantastic football game. Next offer to get to, two more offers to get to. Both guys plays for Mountain Pointe, and they're still in the thick of it as well. The first one, defensive back Dominic Fenstermacher, he announces his commitment as well.
Yeah, he pledged to UNLV. The Rebels have done a good job of recruiting the state of Arizona, and they're having a good year. They're on the verge of making a bowl game. But Fenstermacher is a kid that played at Marcos Aniza as a junior, had a standout year, has moved over and not missed anything at Mountain Pointe, jumped right in and is starting there. Committed to UNLV, had offers from New Mexico State, Nevada, Wyoming, a handful of other schools.
And then another Mountain Pointe player announced his commitment as well, this time on the offensive side of the ball. He plays tight end, also a little wide receiver, Emmanuel Butler. He's going to be staying in state.
Yeah, he pledged to Northern Arizona, going to join Cruz Flores up there, the second in-state commitment for the Lumberjacks. Butler's a little bit overshadowed by their star, Jalen Brown, but he is very good in his own right. He's a kid that can play wide receiver, might play tight end. NAU likes to use a lot of tight ends, but committed to NAU. Good get for the Lumberjacks.
And finally, the last player to get to, another offensive threat, Nick Colson. He's going to be headed to Air Force.
Yeah, he committed to Air Force. I talked to Coach Zuby, and Nick actually plans on going on his Mormon mission first, coming back and then going to the academy. He had several other offers, Nevada, New Mexico State, UC Davis. I'm actually surprised he didn't have more because he is having a standout great year, has 1,000 yards receiving right now for Higley.
So there you have it. Those are 4 commitments that we've brought you here that have happened over the past week. Some more players receiving offers. The first one, Cassius Pete, the talented defensive end linebacker type position for Corona del Sol. Also a great basketball player, holds an ASU offer, but now he's reached SEC attention.
Yeah, he's only a junior, got his first SEC offer, was offered by Vanderbilt. Very, very good student, just like his brother Andrews was. He also has an offer from ASU and Michigan State.
Another player to get to over on the west side, Aaron Diggs, a player that we mentioned before the start of the year in our Daily Dozen, had a great season. He picked up 2 offers in the past week.
Yeah, one of the most under-recruited and underrated players in the state. Diggs, I think, finished the year with 8 interceptions. One of the state's leaders, was offered by UMass and also by Western Illinois.
And you can see on this film, once he gets that ball and he starts running down the sidelines, he's got some great speed. No one's going to touch him.
Had him in camp this summer, and he ran a 4.55 40. Very, very good speed.
And finally, the last offer to get to, a player that unfortunately saw his football career come to an end last week for Pinnacle against Hamilton last week, but their wide receiver, Dan Galindo, picks up an offer.
Yeah, offered by Air Force. It is his first FBS offer. He's a kid that was one of the state's leading receivers, had almost 1,000 yards. Good player, obviously with great grades, being that he got this Air Force offer.
So Dan Galindo at Pinnacle picks up a big offer. That's it for the recruiting news. Let's get into the news on the field. The Recruiting Roundup Player of the Week. This guy, Jason's, could be a Player of the Year candidate, but we're giving him the Player of the Week because of a great performance in round 2. Desert Ridge's Taron Morrison.
Rushed for 358 yards and 5 touchdowns. Part of Desert Ridge's 505 total yards they had on the ground, which is absolutely ridiculous. When you look at Desert Ridge, Jeremy Hathcock, they love to run the ball. They just broke the all-time record for a team rushing in a season. Was held all the way back by a 1970 Tucson High team. Great year for Morrison, like you said, a possible Player of the Year candidate.
Yeah, he is just a junior too, which is scary to think him and his brother Tarek are going to be forces for Desert Ridge next season. But they still got games to play now. They got a big matchup against Mountain Pointe in a big semifinal game. Before we go, though, Jason, we mentioned Taron Morrison, a player having a great breakout season, but no offers, that's still playing. There's also a couple other players to keep an eye on playing in the semifinals that have had monster seasons, but still no offers.
When you look at the kids that are still playing, I like Devin Palomino from Deer Valley, the quarterback. He has no FBS offers right now. He led them to their upset against Centennial, has a very tough task and to go down, play at Marana High against South Pointe this week, but I like Palomino a lot. And another kid, JT Nettleton from Saguaro, plays safety, plays wide receiver, does everything. I'm just waiting for him to get his first offer because once he does, he'll have 10 or 12 offers.
So there you have it. That's it for this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup. Next week will be State Championship Edition. So make sure you stay with us. Till then, Jason Jewell, Jared Cohen, this has been the Recruiting Roundup on Sports360AZ.com.